Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Democrats are claiming victory in multiple states after sweeping a majority of last night's local elections. Two of the biggest wins coming in gubernatorial races in Virginia and New Jersey. ABC's Janae Norman has more.
A big night for Democrats, claiming gubernatorial victories in New Jersey and Virginia.
Virginia has told us to end the divisiveness, that we will not condone hatred and bigotry.
Virginia was the only southern state President Trump didn't win last November. This year, the race in that swing state turned nasty. Ugly political ads focused on hot-button topics like Confederate monuments, race relations, and illegal immigration.
With your help, Ed Gillespie will help make America great again.
Despite President Trump backing former RNC chairman Ed Gillespie, the current lieutenant governor, Ralph Northam, who was backed by former President Obama, won by nearly double digits. Trump quick to distance himself following Gillespie's loss, tweeting, "Ed Gillespie worked hard, but did not embrace me or what I stand for." In New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie's unpopularity led to voters choosing Democrat Phil Murphy over Kim Guadagno, Christie's lieutenant governor. And the night not just big for Democrats, but a big night for diversity and inclusion, which ABC News political analyst Matthew Dowd says sends a clear message to the president.
Not only a first transgender person elected to office in Virginia, the first Sikh elected to office in a major city. I mean, it was a night of total diversity, and I think that not only a rejection of Trump, it was basically a rejection of what he stood for.
And Virginia is seen as a bellwether for national politics. In exit polls, 30% of voters said they came out to show opposition to the president, which analysts say is a positive sign of intensity for Democrats and a worrying one for Republicans. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
The boyfriend of a local TV reporter who was shot and killed live on the air, winning a state house seat in Virginia, Chris Hurst, a former journalist, ran on the platform that included gun violence prevention. He beat incumbent for Virginia's House of Delegates, who was backed by the NRA. Hurst dated Allison Parker, who was shot to death on live television back in 2015, along with her cameraman, Adam Ward. Here in the Suncoast, voters in two areas also elected new leaders last night. In the city of Venice, voters elected two newcomers to the city council. Mitzi Fiedler defeating former councilman Emilio Carlesimo with 59% of the vote. And for Council Seat 2, Chuck Newsom beat incumbent Deborah Anderson 55 to 44%. And in Bradenton Beach, it was John Chappie ousting Mayor Bill Sheeran with 59% of the vote. Dogs displaced by Hurricane Maria are now up for adoption at the Humane Society of Sarasota. The shelter has 35 dogs brought here from Puerto Rico. 11 of those dogs are now up for adoption starting today. The Humane Society's Adoption Center is on 15th Street in Sarasota, not far from Ed Smith Stadium. Happening today, a $3 million ribbon cutting on Longboat Key, 11 years in the making. Bayfront Park, officially dedicated this morning. The park offers new and improved amenities, including a dog park, kayak launch, pickleball, basketball courts, children's playground, and a technology hub that features free Wi-Fi throughout the park.
Every town needs to have one. It's the quality of life. Everybody's now retiring at younger ages and just want to be active.
I've been riding my bike through the park for a couple of months since it was first opened before the ribbon cutting, and I find it just beautiful.
Bayfront Park traces its history back to the 1950s when residents used a surplus U.S. Army building at the site as a recreation center, and it's much more than that now. Of course, it borders the bay on one side, and you can get to the Gulf on the other. I mean, it's a pretty good spot, and beautiful. What a day to get out there and enjoy it too.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, even this morning, they really didn't have much of a fog problem. The East Coast had the fog problem this morning. Today, it was just great. The sun rose on a beautiful blue sky, and
felt a little cooler to me too. The dew point's a little lower.
You know what? The dew point was a degree or two lower, but that's really about it.
Made a difference to me.
Yeah, it was nice. You know what? There was a little bit of a wind this morning, a little breeze, where yesterday it was dead calm. So that might have had something to do with it as well. As far as the daytime high temperature goes, you know, we'll probably be pretty close to where we were yesterday, maybe a little bit cooler. Van Way's webcam put it into motion shows all that beautiful blue sky that was out there this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. As we head into the afternoon, I think we might see a few fair weather clouds beginning to build. Moisture aloft is going to begin to increase over the course of the next few days. And as that happens, we might get a few more of those fair weather clouds that you see kind of rapidly streaming through the deep south. Locally, though, it's still pretty quiet out there in terms of cloud cover or certainly rainfall. No rain in today's forecast. Daytime high comes in the mid-80s, again a little bit above average, but cooler weather might be coming, slightly cooler weather. Talk about that in a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Communicating through art. Some students from Ringling College of Art and Design made some new friends at the Senior Friendship Center in Sarasota this morning. ABC 7's Ray Collins was there and joins us with the story. Ray?
Scott, some 60 years apart, but this morning, two generations were very much on the same page. A dozen art students from the Ringling College of Art and Design brought their sketch pads and pencils to the Senior Friendship Center this morning. It was fun watching the eye contact, the smiles, and the laughter as their artwork helped bridge the generations. Here's reaction from both sides.
Just even talking with them and creating something between you two really establishes a good relationship too.
How does it feel to you to have the students come visit like this?
It's interesting. I've enjoyed it. Being an old school teacher myself, it's fun.
Well, this began as a research project on aging. They found that artwork is a way to connect on a much deeper level. This is the first time they've done this, though, in the past 7 years. Ringling going to the Senior Center, Scott.
Hope they can do it some more. All right. Thank you so much, Ray. Still to come in your Suncoast News, a look at one of the most common mental disorders Americans are facing. What we're learning about anxiety in day 2 of our Undercover Illness series. And a new study that's looking at how pain medication is delivered in emergency rooms. Stay with us.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
81-degree air temperature. We are on a road to about a 84, 85-degree daytime high. Again, above average by 5 degrees or so. And I think over the course of the next several days, we might see those temperatures fall just a little bit, but not all that much. I don't think we'll fall below average until perhaps we get to next week. We might be a degree or 2 below average, but for a day, that's about it. Otherwise, I think this warm trend carries on. Dew point value comes in at 64. We have calm winds right now. The winds have been kind of variable. We've had some gusts up to 15, so there has been a little bit of a breeze blowing. A lot of sunshine out there. And we are looking at temperatures across the region, which are all kind of honing in on that 80-degree mark. 80 in Arcadia, Wauchula, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch as well. Northport comes in at 80 degrees, 81 degrees in Venice, 79 in Inglewood, 76 degrees Longboat Key. So across the nation, we have some hot spots, certainly, where there is some very inclement weather. But a large part of the nation is kind of quiet today under the influence of a big dome of really cold air sinking south out of Canada. You got some 20s in the northern tier states right now. So some really, really chilly, frigid even air sinking southward. The thing is, the leading edge of that colder air right along this frontal boundary is very slowly pulling up to a stop, I think. And once it comes to a stop, we're going to have to wait for this little area of low pressure to kind of run along it and brings that showery activity out in the Atlantic waters while a frontal boundary finally starts to take form and move south out in Gulf waters. That'll be through here probably Friday morning. It's taken a week for this front to sink southward enough to do anything to our weather. And I think what it'll do on Friday is not so much bring us a cold blast of air. It certainly won't have any of that Arctic air, but it will increase our wind speeds just a little bit, lower our dew points a little bit, maybe 5-10 degrees, maybe, and it'll give us a little bit more cloud cover as it basically comes over us, stalls out, and fades away. That'll be front number one. We'll have another one that'll do a similar sort of thing on Sunday. Neither one of them a terribly strong front, both of them helping to lower our temperatures a little bit, kind of chipping away at the temperatures. Until next week, we'll start the work week off with daytime highs that'll be in the upper 70s, which will be kind of nice compared to the mid 80s where we've been. So not a frigid blast. We're not going to see the 60s, but, you know, at least we'll get a little bit of cooler air in. Morning fog again tomorrow morning. That's a possibility once again. But again, I don't think we're going to see a lot of fog around, and I think tomorrow morning will probably be the last day that we have that chance of fog because winds are going to be picking up on Friday, as well as some slightly drier air moving in. Sunny afternoon today and then warmer than average as well. Our water vapor imagery shows we still have some of that dry air aloft, but we also have a little bit of moisture back to the north of us that will be sinking southward with time. No rain in today's forecast, but as I mentioned, some pretty heavy rainfall in parts of Texas. As that low moves to the east, so too does that heavy rainfall. And I think by the time we get to Friday, if you are traveling to the Charlotte airport, there may be some issues because there could be some heavy rainfall there. Futurecast shows this front slowly, ever so slowly sinking southward, bringing a little bit of cloud cover with it on Friday. Not much in the potential for rainfall, but in the extended range forecast, you'll see the slight temperature drop. 10-knot wind today, becoming a little lighter during the overnight. Light chop, nice day to be out on the water. And daytime high temperatures drop a little bit by Friday and then a little bit more on Sunday, so that we're in the upper 70s by next week. Scott?
That sounds a little better. All right, John, thank you. Tonight, ABC 7 continues its series of special reports called Undercover Illness. Tonight at 6, we take an in-depth look at anxiety. It's a common mental disorder that can come in many forms, from panic attacks to phobias. And doctors say they still don't understand the cause of anxiety.
People assume, that anxiety is just because you got scared or you're depressed because you're sad. And people are like, well, just don't be upset about it. Well, if that were the case, I wouldn't be upset about it.
ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick is digging deeper into this undercover illness. Tonight at 6, you'll hear the heartbreaking story of a woman who has struggled with the anxiety since she was a teenager. What started with bullying has resulted in years of pain. In other news, the U.S. in the midst of an opioid epidemic. Nearly 500,000 people have died from opioid overdoses since the year 2000. And now, a new study is looking at how pain medication is delivered in hospital emergency rooms. The study looked at more than 400 individuals who went to the emergency room with a broken limb. One group of patients was given an opioid concoction for pain relief, the other ibuprofen. Researchers found that after 2 hours, patients in both groups reported about the same reduction in pain. Doctors say the results show that opioids do not necessarily bring more pain relief than other medications.
We now know that even one prescription, even an index prescription, could potentially cause harm and can put someone on the pathway to addiction.
Dr. Fertile says it's important to manage pain, but it's also important for people to be realistic about their pain level. He says sometimes having a goal of zero pain is unrealistic and dangerous, and that learning how to deal with pain through other measures is ultimately the safest course. All right, let's get over to the kitchen and check in for the first time today with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy, I see a lot of fruits and vegetables over there today.
That's right, Scott. It's countdown to Thanksgiving. So we have two things we're going to be doing today. In a little while, I'm going to talk to you about potatoes. It's important to know which potatoes to use for mashed, which to use for smashed, which to use for au gratin, and which to use for your sweet potato casserole. So we're going to cover all that in just a few minutes. Then a little bit later, we're going to make a beautiful light salad with red pear and pistachio and a lemon creme fraiche vinaigrette. So you get that creaminess with it. To me, the salad course with a loaf of crusty bread from the Bavarian Bread Company is just what I want, maybe a wedge of cheese, before we get into the hearty cooking and eating. So stay with me throughout the hour, and we will talk everything from potatoes to produce to great salads for your holiday feast.
Take the trolley to Siesta Beach for the Crystal Classic Sand Sculpting Festival, November 10th through 13th. See master sand sculptors create works of art. It's family fun with hands-on kids activities, sand sculpting lessons, music, food, a party tent, and more. Visit SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
It's bigger and better. The Siesta Key Crystal Classic Sand Sculpting Festival, November 10th through 13th. 24 international artists create massive sand sculptures. Enjoy 4 days and 2 nights with live music, food, a party tent, and more. See SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com for details.
The Hermitage Artist Retreat in Englewood is a place where painters, sculptors, playwrights, and musicians hone their craft. John is with a guest to tell us more about an upcoming event there. John?
That's right. Bruce Rogers joins us now, the executive director of the Hermitage. Thanks for coming in today, Bruce. And you have a performing artist, Claire Chase, a flautist who is going to be there, she was actually an alumni of the Hermitage, right? And she's going to be performing this weekend.
She is. She was here actually in 2012. Right after winning the MacArthur Genius Award.
Tell us about that. That's prestigious.
Well, it is one of the major awards in America, given to people who have exceptional creative potential for the country.
And some of the other people who have won that award, Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah, I mean,
biggies.
Yeah. In fact, another alumni of ours, Vijay Iyer, was also a winner of the award.
I've heard her play actually on the internet. And it's just amazing. I mean, she's incredible. She plays everything from Bach to Schoenberg. I mean, really contemporary stuff.
A lot of new music.
Yeah.
She's really known for that too. And she's coming back after just winning another major national prize, which is the Avery Fisher Prize.
Oh.
So her name is actually going to be in marble on a plaque in Geffen Hall in Lincoln Center with Yo-Yo Ma, pianist Emanuel Axe.
I like it better when they call it Avery Fisher Hall, though.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Right,
Times change, right? Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
She's really major performing artist in America.
Some of her stuff it's kind of the musical equivalent of modern dance to me. It almost seems like. I mean, it's so powerful.
I mean, I've also seen her play bass flute. A bass flute that extends all the way down to the floor.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
As well as piccolo. She plays everything. She's really an incredible person, and she's like the most wonderful human being, and engaging and wonderful.
She seems a great speaker as well, and she's going to be right there out on the beach, right, where the Hermitage is located.
She'll be right on the beach.
What a great venue
with us. It's a great opportunity to hear a really major American musician come and play in the intimate environs of the Hermitage.
Oh, so it's such a wonderful place too. If you have not been to the Hermitage, it is a real gem on the Suncoast, on Manasota Beach in Englewood.
In Englewood.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Okay, and it's this Saturday,
This
is
coming
that right?
Saturday, 11 to 2.
And tickets are available by calling?
At our website, hermitageartistretreat.org, all one word.
Great.
You can click through a link and just sign up right there.
And there'll be food out there and all kinds of things going on, so very exciting.
Terrific afternoon.
Exciting event. And the weather, going to be perfect.
I checked my ABC weather alert.
You can trust it.
Looking good.
Look forward to it. Thank you very much for coming out and telling us a little about this really rare and kind of neat event.
Thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you so much. A 94-year-old woman is recovering from a bizarre crime in Scottsdale, Arizona. Police say somebody stuffed her in the trunk of her own car, drove her around town, and then left her in a local mall parking lot. ABC's Jason Volentine has more on how the woman escaped.
Tied up and drug out of this apartment at 6 a.m., a 94-year-old woman then stuffed in her own trunk and driven around Scottsdale, left in the Fashion Square Mall parking lot, trapped for more than 6 hours.
If this was a summer day, this could have been a very different result for her.
Police say the woman eventually freed herself, and someone who saw her crawling out of the trunk called 911.
I saw when she was standing outside of her, or she was sitting on the trunk. So she was in the trunk, and then another car came by and helped her. She seemed to be okay. Yeah, so I don't think she was in bad condition. I'm just a little bit alarmed that it happened here overnight.
Several of the woman's neighbors told us that she's just the nice old lady who lives next door. The HOA president told us just last week she wanted the bushes trimmed down so she could better enjoy the view out her window. So, who would snatch a sweet old lady from her home, and why? Was it a botched burglary or something more sinister?
The suspect that we're dealing with is a very dangerous person.
Questions Scottsdale police hope to answer sooner than later.
That was Jason Volentine reporting. The woman was reportedly trapped for 6 hours. Now police say they're scouring through security footage trying to see if any cameras captured the suspect. All right, let's get back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. So let's talk spuds, okay? Because sometimes it gets a little confusing and intimidating when you're thinking about making mashed potatoes. What's the difference between smashed and au gratin and sweet potatoes? Let's start over here, right here with the red potatoes. First thing the news director said to me this morning, you are going to have red potatoes, right? Of course we are. Now, the great thing about red potatoes, you don't have to peel them. Wash them really well. I rinse them twice, and that's something you want to use just a potato masher with, so you'll still leave those chunks of mashed potatoes in. Chef potatoes, these big bad boys right here, you're seeing them in a lot of different farm stands. I find them right over at Yoder's Produce Market. They're great for a soup, a potato leek soup. I just made New England clam chowder this weekend, and it worked perfectly with that. You can use them for mashed, but I'm going to give you a better trick in a minute. Now we have, of course, your russet potatoes, your Idaho potatoes. Those are the best ones to use for au gratin potatoes, and the larger ones for the baked stuffed potato. They're a meatier, heartier potato, and that's why. We have the little yellow creamers. Those are another great potato to use for mashed potatoes. You can leave the skin on, but the bigger creamer potatoes, it'll come in generally about this size, is the best. The Yukon Gold potatoes are what you want to use for your mashed potatoes. Now, you always want to use a ricer if you can. This size costs about $30 at one of the kitchen stores, but they kind of last for about 30 years. What I like about the newer models is you can change how much you want. So if you want them a little denser, it can be that. I like them very fine with lots of butter, just like Eric Repair does. Now, sweet potatoes. We've all seen the sweet potatoes, the yams. Both work great for a sweet potato casserole. Now you're going to start seeing a lot of the Japanese sweet potatoes. They have a whitish flesh to them, and they are sweeter. So the benefit is that you probably use less sugar when you're making a sweet potato casserole. Definitely going to peel those either way, but what's nice about either of these, if you want to roast, just cut them in wedges, scrub off that skin first, cut them in wedges, olive oil in the oven with salt and pepper, and you're all set. So when I come back, it's time to start my salad with a little creme fraiche dressing, and we will have courses ready to go.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Vice President Mike Pence and his wife are traveling to Sutherland Springs, Texas to meet with victims and families of the mass shooting there. Federal officials are now looking into why the gunman's violent background was never reported to authorities. ABC's Danya Backus has the latest from Texas.
First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas is still a crime scene. For 4 days, authorities have been processing evidence, but the FBI says they've reached a roadblock. They can't unlock the murderer's encrypted smartphone, which could hold key information.
I can assure you that we're working
very hard to get into the phone, and that will continue until we find an answer.
Wednesday.
Why? Why?
New questions of how Devin Kelly was able to purchase guns despite his violent background.
When they found the body, she was holding Brooke in her arms.
Sandy Ward lost her 2 grandchildren, 7-year-old Emily and 5-year-old Brooke, and her daughter-in-law Joanne. Her grandson Ryland was shot 5 times. Her granddaughter Rihanna managed to survive unharmed.
She had looked at the gunman in the eye and he fired at her and it knocked her glasses off her face. Not a scratch on her, thank God.
A newly released police report shows Devin Kelly was even more unstable and potentially dangerous than we knew, saying he escaped from a New Mexico mental health facility in June of 2012, temporarily committed, thought to be a danger to himself and others. The report noting Kelly had been caught sneaking firearms onto Holloman Air Force Base and was attempting to carry out death threats made on his military chain of command. Churches in the southern Texas area now saying they will increase security in the aftermath of the shooting, with one pastor saying he plans on carrying a gun during services. Danya Backus, ABC News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
An execution is set today for a man who was convicted of killing 2 people in Tampa back in 1991. Patrick Hannon, who has lived 2 lifetimes, the 26 years he lived before he was sent to death row, and now the 26 years he has spent on it. Hannon was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder for the slayings of 2 roommates near the USF campus. The now 53-year-old is scheduled to die by lethal injection at Florida State Prison in Stark tonight at 6 p.m. Hannon's appeals have so far been denied, but the U.S. Supreme Court has yet to rule on his current request for a stay of execution. The Pensacola woman accused of killing a 9-year-old girl by sitting on her as punishment is now charged with first-degree murder. Veronica Posey will serve a mandatory life sentence if convicted. The parents of the child are also facing neglect charges. A mother from St. Petersburg is charged with child abuse after chasing her boyfriend at high speeds with her 3-year-old daughter in the front seat with no seatbelt on. When Justine Oleski slammed on the brakes, the child hit the windshield. The child survived and was not seriously injured. The Florida House will soon vote on whether to create a state memorial to honor slaves and acknowledge the cruelty of slavery. The memorial would be built on the Florida Capitol's grounds. The bill cleared its final committee stop yesterday, and it now heads to the full House. A similar bill, though, died last year. The Chambers of Commerce from Sarasota and Manatee counties are teaming up for their biggest little business event of the year. It happens tonight. It's called Chamber Expo 2017, and it will feature more than 150 exhibitors. Organizers say it's a great networking opportunity and also offers entertainment and door prizes. The event runs from 4 to 7:30 at the Bradenton Area Convention Center in Palmetto. Sarasota plans to install parking meters on St. Armand Circle. Those machines will help pay for a parking garage that's planned for the shopping and restaurant destination. Today, the public is getting the opportunity to test different types of parking meters and then review them for the city. This is the first of several meter demonstrations as city officials try to narrow down which kind to install there. Sarasota County Fire Department making sure everyone is prepared for emergencies on Thanksgiving. The holiday is the #1 day for structure fires across the country. And today, firefighters are hosting a turkey fryer demonstration. It shows what can go wrong when a fryer is not used correctly.
Most of the things that we want to teach people is be safe, have a safe area around the cooking utensils, that it's hot, it can get burned easily, but most important, do it correctly, and then we won't have a problem.
The department warns to always read the manufacturer's recommendations for your specific fryer before you start cooking, and remember to never fry indoors. DeSoto National Memorial Park rangers are offering pieces of the historic gumbo limbo trees that were taken down this week. Hurricane Irma damaged the trees, and they were also suffering from a disease that weakens them. Rangers are hoping new trees may have a chance to grow if these cuttings are replanted. The pieces will be offered at DeSoto National until 5 o'clock this afternoon. The dock and observation deck at North Jetty Park will be permanently removed next week. Both the dock and the deck have sustained damage from numerous storms over the years, most recently from Hurricane Irma. The dock has been closed for nearly a year while county staff evaluated its safety. Photos show the dock tilted and the wood and concrete supports damaged underneath. The removal is set for next Tuesday. Let's get another check on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi, and a really nice day. We've had a pretty nice week, but warmer temperatures than I guess some of us
would like to see.
Yeah,
we didn't have the big fog problem this morning.
No,
though.
that
was kind of nice,
yeah.
you know. And yesterday we didn't have a lot of fog along the coastline. It was mostly inland, and today it continued to retreat eastward, and it was mostly an East Coast problem. So that's good.
Yeah.
And like you say, it was a few degrees cooler in the dew point, and felt a little better outside. And I think as we head into the next couple of days, it'll feel even better. I think.
Good.
Yeah, because we got a little front that's kind of gradually drifting south. But boy, I've been talking about this front all week long now, so it's a real slow mover. It's got some energy in it, though. We'll talk about that in a second. Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. A lot of blue sky out there. We had some pretty clear skies during the overnight. A few fair weather clouds streamed by. You notice how fast those clouds are going. The jet stream is pretty active just to our north. Look how fast it's moving. I mean, you've really got some strong winds, especially over Texas, creating the potential for some flooding rains out there today. Some of those rains coming down hard and heavy in around the Dallas and Fort Worth area. Also Austin getting some pretty good rainfall. Look for a daytime high today that'll come in at about 84, 85 degrees. And then as we head into the evening hours, again, it looks like a very pleasant evening. Changes perhaps coming up as we head into Friday. We'll talk about those kind of subtle changes in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. One reptile is starting to make its presence a little more known across parts of the Suncoast. Iguana colonies are popping up in certain areas of South Sarasota County. Now, iguanas becoming a more common sight, especially in the Venice and Englewood areas. Experts say they are usually near a coastline, and a lot of them have been spotted in some area parks. Although iguanas are more common in the southern parts of Florida, they can occasionally be seen in northern Sarasota County and Manatee County.
Had time over the last couple decades to really grow in numbers, and as they grow in numbers, obviously they need to expand and move out from one area to find other food sources and things like that. So it's just the natural migration north as their population expands.
Experts say iguanas should not be feared. They can usually be spotted, though, in the daylight hours. Happening tonight, Keep Sarasota County Beautiful is hosting its 29th annual Volunteer Awards Recognition Dinner. This event will include hundreds of volunteers who are helping make our community a better place to live. This year's theme is Litter, Glitz, and Glitter, a Roaring 20s style costume party. It all starts at 5 o'clock and then runs until 8 p.m. at Roberts Arena in Sarasota. Well, today's amazing Suncoast woman has been robbed in China and caught up in a battle in Tibet. But she continued her solo world tour until love and fate brought her to the Suncoast. ABC 7's Linda Carson has her story.
Adele Roser is the executive director of Turning Point, a Bradenton organization that helps people in crises.
We're really here for people who are having housing issues or trying to get housed.
They also help with basic needs.
The Open Door helps people with IDs, they help them with clothes, they help them wash their clothes that they have, they help them with those basic necessities, access to a restroom. We have a very strong employment services area there.
Adele's story started a long way from here.
I was born in Bismarck, well, close to Bismarck, North Dakota, about 30 miles away on a huge farm.
Then her family moved to Washington State. After she finished grad school,
I was working with Planned Parenthood in Walla Walla there. I started as their education director and then moved up into the executive director position, and that was the youngest executive director in the whole Planned Parenthood organization nationwide.
Then she decided to visit her older sisters who were missionaries in India and Indonesia. From there, she traveled around the world, and when she was interviewed for a job as a family planning specialist, she didn't get the job, but the man who interviewed her asked her to dinner.
Dr. Roser said, "Oh, I have this 40-foot sailing boat that I have for going on a 2-week cruise in Turkey, and the other guy can't go, so would you be interested in going?"
Although she knew nothing about sailing, she said yes. They almost died in a huge storm.
When we finally got back into the port, he said, "Well, would you like to be my permanent crew member?"
They've now been married 27 years and have 2 children. When they returned to the U.S., they chose to live in Bradenton. This job at Turning Point was the first job Adele was offered.
We had a budget of less than $250,000. And now we have a $2.2 million budget. We have this building that we own and all these other services.
Her life lesson is the importance of family.
Family is something, it doesn't have to be biological, but that support system, the love, the networking that you get, you can develop that anywhere.
This amazing woman was smart enough to find her way around the globe several times, but walking through this door was a turning point. Now she spends her time helping others find homes and build better lives. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. So many good things in our kitchen today. Let's see what's happening with Judy.
So we talked spuds earlier, so you know which to use for the mashed and which for the au gratin. Now let's make a simple dressing for a salad. To me, the salad course is my favorite because I like the crunch. There's a lot of mushy food on Thanksgiving, and I really enjoy that salad to start out with. So I have some beautiful fresh baby greens that I got at Warden Farms. They're finally back in the beginning of November. They start up in the downtown farmers market. If you don't make it to the farmers market, getting the Organic Girl greens are great, and you can find them in most grocery stores. So I prefer that. Now it does say it comes washed. Always wash your greens a second time. Let's get into the dressing because I think this is the real star. I'm going to take creme fraiche. Creme fraiche is similar to a sour cream, but it is also made with some heavy cream. So it's not quite as bitter, very, very creamy. Also a nice touch to add into your mashed potatoes, hint, hint. Now we're going to take the juice of 2 whole lemons. I prefer not to use the juice in the bottle, but definitely the fresh because you're going to really see the difference. And for time's sake, we'll get that third one squeezed. I love using different salts. In fact, I have a separate salt cabinet. And for today, I'm using the rosemary basil salt from the Spice and Tea store up in St. Armand's. And I love this flavor, and especially because I have rosemary with the turkey, that's going to help balance that flavor. I'm going to take some white balsamic vinegar, and we're only going to need a teeny bit of olive oil because we have that creaminess from the creme fraiche already. So there we go. So we have that. And then just a touch of orange blossom honey, whatever type of local orange blossom honey you can get. And there are so many great local honeys, also good for allergies. A taste, oh yeah, it's ready to go. So in with the greens, I have some sliced red pear and a few sliced red tomatoes because I always use seedless red tomatoes as my garnish with pomegranates and greens for my actual turkey display. We're going to use pistachio nuts, but by all means you could use slivered almonds. And then we're going to drizzle that dressing in, put in some extra sliced fennel, and then use the tops, the fond's right there as well in your salad. We're going to toss that up, and it's just going to be the perfect start for Thanksgiving. So we're going to keep going all the way through to Thanksgiving Day. I'll be here the morning of Thanksgiving to take your calls and then help you prepare a beautiful Thanksgiving meal for your family. Stay back. We'll be coming in for a taste in just a few minutes.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
81-degree air temperature with a dew point of 64. We have calm winds out there right now. And as we head into the afternoon, I think we can probably add another couple of degrees onto that daytime high temperature, getting us to a well above average 84, 85-degree afternoon high. Much warmer than is typical at this time of year. A lot of sunshine out there as well. Across the region, 81 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Northport. You get the idea. A lot of places today are going to see temperatures that are in the mid-80s, except perhaps right along the immediate coastline where the temperatures might be held down just a little bit by an onshore sea breeze this afternoon. Otherwise, we have some very cold air sinking southward out of Canada. We got some temperatures in the 20s this morning up in the northern tier. The thing is, this cold air is not diving south. It's kind of moved south, put on the brakes a little bit, and now it's going to slide east just a little bit. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means that this cold front that's down to the south here is putting on the brakes. It's really not moving a whole lot, and in fact, we've been looking at this on our weather map the entire week, basically. Little areas of low pressure are rippling along this front like little cars on a railroad track, and they are kicking off some pretty good storminess in places. Texas seeing a lot of rainfall today, and that rain gradually moving off toward the Carolina coast by the end of the week. We'll watch that low pressure eventually drag the tail end of a cold front through our area by Thursday night into Friday day. And that will bring down some slightly cooler air by a degree or two, and maybe a little bit of drier air by a dew point degree or two. But really a lot of the cooler air that we'll feel is because it'll also bring down some cloud cover, which will help block the sun. So while the air won't be all that much colder, perhaps the cloud cover might help to cool off our daytime highs just a little bit. Morning fog, and that'll be true tomorrow morning. Probably the last day in the 7-day forecast that I have for you where we have a chance at seeing some morning fog. And again, most of that fog is probably going to be inland. A sunny afternoon, and that's true for today and probably most of tomorrow as well, though tomorrow night I think we might see some of those higher clouds begin to roll in. And then warmer than average temperatures for a couple of days. And then I think by Friday, once that front comes through, we'll probably see temperatures that are closer to the average. So we have some drier air aloft, indicated by the tan colors here on the water vapor imagery, but that is slowly eroding away as we get closer and closer to that front where the rain showers are located in the deep south. When that gets a little closer to us, we'll see a little bit more cloud cover around here as well, and the future forecast shows that. Put it into motion, you see those clouds sinking south so that by Friday, we've got a little mix of sun and clouds out here. I don't think we'll see much in the way of rainfall. In fact, the chance of thunderstorm activity with this front, which you sometimes get with wintertime cold fronts, is mostly on the other coastline. It's still hurricane season, and we still have Rena. But again, Rena, though it got a little bit stronger overnight, is on a forecast track that'll carry it rapidly into colder waters. Well, it will just basically fade away. Although it may take a kind of a hybrid system off toward the UK and maybe produce some storminess there. North wind coming in at about 10 knots today, light chop, 2-foot seas, and the extended range forecast shows that, well, temperatures drop a little bit on Friday, drop again on Sunday with the next front, and the first alert weather forecast takes us to slightly below temperatures as we head into Monday, Tuesday next week. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Target is closing a dozen of its stores. The retailer is refining its portfolio, closing those stores that are not profitable and then expanding at promising locations. Target has opened 32 new stores this year and created 2,000 new jobs, but the announcement of these closings comes at a time when Target is facing tremendous pressure from online merchants such as Amazon. Target is now watching costs and coming up with more creative strategies to keep its stores viable. None of the Target stores on the Suncoast are closing, and the only store in Florida to make the list is one in South Florida. Sears and Kmart have announced they'll both be open on Thanksgiving. Kmart stores will be open from 6 in the morning until 10 p.m. on the holiday and then reopen at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. While most Sears stores will be open from 6 p.m. to midnight on Thanksgiving and then reopen at 5 a.m. on Black Friday. Company also announcing members of its Shop Your Way rewards program will get access to Doorbusters 4 days early during in-store members' nights on November 19th and 20th. And don't forget, you can get updates on developing stories and other local and national breaking news by downloading the latest version of our news app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and then download this app again. Search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users will get it automatically. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the Country Music Awards are set for tonight. We'll let you know who's most likely to win when we come back.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 16th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival presented by Publix, Saturday, November 11th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. All proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Oh, the salad is fantastic. I love the fruit at this time of year.
Oh, me too. The red pears are so juicy. I mean, you bite into them and the juice just...
Explosion.
It totally. And I've got that great sea salt that has the rosemary and dried basil in it. Some fresh lemon juice and creme fraiche. How easy is that?
Very easy.
A little bit of honey, and it's so smooth. You can get this recipe and so much more by going on mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining page, and it's Wednesday, so you can enter to win a gift certificate to one of our great Dining Page sponsors. So I'm excited, John.
Yes, indeed. And I love your suggestion about using a ricer for your mashed potatoes, because it does make a tremendous difference, doesn't it?
You use that and about 2 pounds of butter.
You're good to
all
go.
Set.
Scott.
Thank you both. Happening tonight, the Sarasota High School Singing Sailors will host their annual Veterans Salute concert. The Sailors will be joined by guest choirs from Brookside Middle and McIntosh Middle Schools. The concert will feature a salute to the armed forces, recognizing all branches of the U.S. military. It's free to the public and will be held in the high school's auditorium beginning at 7 o'clock tonight. A big night in Nashville as well. The CMA Awards will be handed out. Miranda Lambert goes into the show with the most nods, 5 of them, and Brad Paisley is back as co-host along with Carrie Underwood. They'll be honoring the lives lost at the country music concert mass shooting in Las Vegas. You can catch the CMA Awards tonight right here on ABC 7 beginning at 8 o'clock. A lot of great music, fun times coming out of that show. So watch tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite an event, I have no doubt.
Yes, indeed.
I have actually never watched one. I'm going to record it and watch it this year because I heard last year was so amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good, and you can just watch it with the windows open tonight. I like it.
Maybe.
Don't turn it up too loud.
I like that.
Have a good night. Have a good day, everyone.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Do you need a good laugh? Starting November 1st at the Player Center, everything that can go wrong does go wrong in the smash hit comedy Moon Over Buffalo. This wild Broadway series production shows what happens both on stage and off. Contact the Players at 365-2494 or at theplayers.org. The show must go on with Moon Over Buffalo.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.